My wife claimed her ex was just borrowing her car. Then I found a receipt for a couple's cooking class paid with my credit card. I called the instructor and said, "Mind if I crash date night with my apron?" I never thought I'd be the guy writing one of these stories. But here I am, a 45-year-old man from Nashville, Tennessee, sharing the tale of how my marriage unraveled in the most unexpected way. My wife, Sarah, and I had been married for 15 years. We had our ups and downs, like any couple, but I believed we were solid. She was a nurse at a local hospital, and I worked in IT. Our schedules were hectic, but we made it work. About 6 months ago, Sarah started acting differently. She was more secretive with her phone, often stepping out to take calls. When I asked, she'd say it was work-related. I wanted to trust her, so I didn't press. Then came the day she told me her ex-boyfriend, Mark, needed to borrow her car for a few days. "Isn't that a bit unusual?" I asked. "He's in a tough spot," she replied. "His car broke down, and he needs to get to work. It's just for a couple of days." I didn't like it, but I didn't want to seem controlling. So, I agreed. Road. I was stunned. I called Sir La Table and asked about the class. "Yes, we had a couples class that evening," the receptionist said. "Would you like to sign up for a future session?" "No," I replied. "I was just curious." "Thanks." I couldn't believe it. Sarah had lied to me. She wasn't working overtime. She was attending a cooking class with someone, likely Mark. That evening, I confronted Sarah. "I found a receipt for a couple's cooking class," I said. "Care to explain?" She looked shocked. I can explain. Please do. It was just a class. Mark and I thought it would be fun, but it didn't mean anything. You lied to me, Sarah. You said you were working. I'm sorry. I didn't know how to tell you." The betrayal cut deep. Not just the act, but the lies. I couldn't let it go. I needed closure. So, I called Sir La Table again and asked if they had another couples class coming up. They did, next weekend. I signed up. Then, I called the instructor and explained the situation. He was sympathetic and agreed to let me attend, even though the class was full. The day of the class arrived. I walked in, wearing an apron and carrying a bottle of wine. Sarah and Mark were already there, laughing and chatting. When they saw me, their faces turned pale. "Mind if I join you too?" I asked, smiling. The room fell silent. Sarah stammered, "What are you doing here?" "I thought I'd learn how to cook. Seems like a fun class." The instructor, bless him, played along. "Welcome. Let's get started." Throughout the class, I remained calm, even cheerful. But the tension was palpable. After the class, I left without another word. Sarah tried calling me, but I didn't answer. The next day, I packed my things and moved out. I filed for divorce shortly after. It wasn't just about the affair. It was about the betrayal, the lies, and the disrespect. It's been a few months now. I'm living in a new apartment, focusing on work and rediscovering hobbies I had neglected. The pain is still there, but it's fading. I'm learning to trust again, slowly. And as for Sarah and Mark, I heard they broke up. Not that it matters. Life goes on. About a week after I moved out, I started getting texts from people we both knew, old friends, neighbors, even one of her coworkers. "Hey, just heard you left Sarah. Sorry, man. But have you seen her Facebook lately?" I hadn't. I'd unfollowed her the day I walked out. Curiosity got the better of me. I logged in. Her profile picture was now a smiling selfie, her and Mark in matching aprons, holding a tray of burnt cookies. Caption? "Sometimes love needs a second chance. #healing, #forgiveness, #growth. I wanted to laugh or scream, but I just stared. Then the comments started trickling in. Molly R. "So happy for you too. You deserve to be happy." Daniel T. "Didn't know Mark was back in the picture. Thought she was married." That one hit hard. Sarah's reply, "He was. But that relationship had been over for a long time. I just hadn't said it out loud yet." Over? A long time? She said that after sleeping next to me, eating meals I cooked, while borrowing my credit card to fund her little love saga. 2 weeks later, I got a call from my bank. They flagged unusual activity on one of our joint credit cards. I thought I had canceled all of them. Turns out, she had reopened it. Charges popped up. Spa appointments, hotel stays, even a payment to a furniture store. She was using my name. My credit. I called her, boiling. "You opened the card again?" I snapped. "Oh, that was just temporary. I'll pay it back." "You committed fraud, Sarah. Don't be dramatic. We're still legally married. You're pushing it." You think you're the only one who's angry? You embarrassed me. At that class. You showed up and made it a circus. Oh, I'm sorry, I said, voice cold. Was me walking into my cooking class that I paid for a little inconvenient for your romance fantasy? Silence. Click. Mark started texting me. Yes, Mark. The man who helped destroy my marriage thought it made sense to clear the air. Hey bro, I just want to say I didn't know how serious things were with you two, he wrote. I ignored it. He sent another. She told me you were sleeping in separate rooms, that you hadn't touched her in a year. Another lie. Then a voicemail. Listen, I'm not the bad guy. Sarah and I have history. You were just the wrong guy at the wrong time. That was it. I reported the credit card fraud and changed every password to everything. Then I lawyered up, hard. My lawyer, Carla, was a pit bull. Sharp suit, sharper tongue. She listened to my story and said, let's go for blood. I told her I didn't want revenge. I wanted boundaries. Well, lucky for you, revenge comes with boundaries. We'll hit her where it hurts. Financially, legally, socially. Socially. She grinned. Leave that to me. Turns out Carla had represented two other men who'd been through similar stuff with spouses tangled up in exes and financial fraud. And she didn't play nice. 3 weeks into the legal process, Carla uncovered something. She signed a lease under your name. What? For a new apartment. Downtown. High-end. It's in your name, and she forged your signature. My stomach dropped. We've got her now, Carla said. You ready to press charges? I paused. I didn't know. Did I want her arrested? Did I want to be that guy? But then I thought about the hotel bills, the cooking classes, the lies, the lease. I nodded. Do it. Sarah showed up at my new place. No knock. Just the jingle of her old key, which I'd forgotten to change. She stepped inside like she still owned the air. What the hell, Rick? You filed charges? Are you serious? You committed identity theft. What did you think would happen? She started to cry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for this to blow up. I just needed a fresh start. With my name? She sobbed harder. I didn't know how to ask for help. You didn't ask. You stole. Silence. Then she whispered. Mark left. Said he didn't sign up for this kind of drama. Of course he did. That night, I sat alone on my couch with the court papers, receipts, and lawyer notes spread around me. I realized I had two choices. Let her off the hook, or go all the way. 2 days after Sarah stormed out of my apartment, I was cleaning up my inbox. I hadn't looked through my email properly since the split. It was flooded, bank updates, lawyer emails, spam. Then I saw it. Subject line. Question about the house purchase, sent to wrong email. It was from a real estate agent. Curious, I clicked. Inside was a forwarded thread between Sarah and the agent. She had been looking at homes in Atlanta with Mark while we were still married. The kicker? She listed my full name and credit as the financial backer. My social security number was even in one of the attachments. I felt sick. So this wasn't just about a lease. She was trying to buy a house. Under my name. I forwarded everything to Carla. Her reply came fast. We have her for federal fraud. She crossed state lines. This isn't just divorce court anymore. You're looking at FBI territory. I called my brother, Evan. I needed to talk to someone not wearing a suit. After a long pause on the phone, he said, okay, I didn't want to tell you this, but I saw her with him. Months ago. Where? Knoxville. You remember that wedding I went to in November? Yeah, she was there. With Mark. Holding hands. I didn't want to start drama. I thought maybe you knew. My blood ran cold. That was the weekend she said she was at a hospital retreat for continuing education. She even brought back pamphlets. Why didn't you tell me? I thought maybe you were into open marriage stuff. I didn't know where you two stood. I sat there, stunned. She had lied for so long, so smoothly, that even my own brother thought I was in on it. 3 weeks later, I got a call from a guy named Agent Wallace. He was calm, professional, but very clear. We've been contacted by your attorney regarding fraudulent use of personal information. Based on what she provided, we're opening a case. It felt surreal. A part of me still didn't believe it had gone this far. He asked me to come in to sign papers, provide documents, and give a full statement. I did. 2 days later, Sarah got a visit. The fallout hit hard. Sarah got fired from the hospital. Apparently, one of her co-workers saw the FBI agents show up and word spread fast. Mark ghosted her completely, phone number deactivated, social media wiped. She tried reaching out again. Sent flowers to my apartment. A letter. A voicemail crying, saying she wasn't in her right mind, that she missed who we used to be. But I wasn't that man anymore. And she sure as hell wasn't that woman. While prepping court materials, Carla found something else. A savings account. Hidden. It had over $27,000. And it were monthly deposits from an anonymous LLC. When she traced it, the LLC belonged to Mark. But that wasn't even the worst part. There were 2 other names tied to the LLC. One of them was Jason Hale, my best friend from college. My fishing buddy. The guy who spoke at my wedding. Turns out he and Mark had gone into business a year ago, selling medical devices. Guess who connected them? Sarah. The knife twisted deeper. I sat with all of it. The fraud, the affair, the lies, the betrayal of friends. Part of me wanted to burn it all down. Leak it. Sue everyone. Drag their names through every court and every feed. But another part of me was tired. Worn out. I told Carla I'd decide by the end of the week whether to push for federal prosecution or just take the cleanest path to walk away. That night, I wrote letters. One to Sarah, one to Jason, one to Mark. But I didn't send them. Not yet. I spent the next 3 days thinking. Barely slept. Kept replaying everything. Every lie Sarah told. Every time Mark looked me in the eye and smiled like we were cool. Every time Jason slapped me on the back like a brother while helping to steal from me. I talked to Carla. Let's go full charge. No mercy. She nodded. It's going to get messy, she warned. But if you're ready, I'm past ready. We hit them all hard. Sarah got slapped with felony fraud, identity theft, and breach of financial trust. Mark got caught in the real estate fraud and tied to the fake LLC. Jason got the worst of it, tax evasion, business fraud, and helping Sarah falsify financial documents. Carla filed lawsuits in 3 counties. I sent a detailed package to the IRS with every piece of paperwork Carla collected on them. I even dropped anonymous tips to Sarah's hospital board and Jason's business partners. Then I posted the story publicly. Not in anger. Just facts. No names. But anyone who knew us knew. The fallout was nuclear. Jason lost everything within a week. His company dropped him. His wife found out and filed for divorce the next day. Turns out he used her credit too. He tried to play the victim on Facebook. Didn't work. I got a message from him. You ruined my life. I replied, you did that yourself. I just made sure everyone saw it. Mark tried to disappear again. Didn't work. Carla's legal team traced the LLC fraud through his mother's address. The FBI got involved again. They raided his new apartment in Atlanta. Mark was arrested for wire fraud, mail fraud, and forging real estate documents. I watched the news clip of him in handcuffs. He looked tired. Old. Like life finally hit back. Couldn't have happened to a better guy. Sarah tried one last trick. She claimed I emotionally abused her. Said I was controlling, manipulative, cruel. Even tried to file a restraining order against me to win sympathy in court. But Carla came armed with audio from the cooking class. Testimonies. Financial documents. Emails. It all blew up in Sarah's face. The judge didn't just throw out her motion, he called it an insult to real victims. She was sentenced to 18 months probation, 200 hours of community service, and fined $15,000. Her nursing license? Suspended. But I wasn't perfect in all this either. I ignored early signs. Let things slide. Gave out too much trust without asking for accountability. I also let bitterness start to twist me a little. I got cold. Mean. I ghosted good people who had nothing to do with this, just because they reminded me of my past. Pushed away my own brother for weeks. It hit me one day while watching a video of Sarah crying outside the courthouse that I had become obsessed with punishment. I wasn't proud of it, but I wasn't sorry either. Some fires need to burn. Sarah asked to meet. Just one last time. I agreed. Public place. Coffee shop. She looked thin. Tired. Her eyes were heavy, like she hadn't slept in months. I'm sorry, she said. I nodded. I know. I don't expect forgiveness. Good. Because I'm not offering it. She nodded. I just wanted you to know. I did love you. Once. I leaned in, quiet. I loved you too. But love doesn't survive lies. Or theft. Or betrayal. She cried. I left. A year later, I'm better. Not perfect, but better. I live in a small town near Asheville now. Started over. Got a dog. Joined a hiking club. I still get messages from people who read my story online. Most of them say, man, I wish I had the guts to do what you did. But it wasn't guts. It was pain, turned into fire. Then fire turned into action. And action turned into peace. So yeah, I lost a wife, a friend, trust. But I gained something bigger. Myself.